I like your intro. It reminds me of
Or
the drink
West
champs.
Live coming in. New week, new show.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Mm.
So now we got the cats that after our heyday was moving on to the next journey, that next era where they would the baton was passed to. Their name was ringing all through ballistics. First got back in the game. It was tracked down by some young pigeon-toed cat with a high butt looking for me on MySpace. I didn't know who he was. Who the hell is AJ? First cats I heard about SWAT team. Now I had to see who is the SWAT team.
Let's just use this speaker.
Fast forward. Hook up with my boy Meech out in France. Drinking some coffee with my pinky up.
Ooh.
Ran back into him at JU's house. So I saw he held it down, serious about his game. So I even gave him the name the U.
The U.
Like the Miami football team. I love dearly. Better carry that shit well. Without further ado, the U.
The U.
Yeah. I'm honored, y'all. I'm honored, y'all. Thank you. Thanks for this. Thanks for this opportunity.
Shout out to chat room.
Yeah, what's up, Sean?
The Shot Square.
What up,
my bro Shot.
That part.
The Salt Mall. What's up, Lab?
Keebler in the house.
One. Don't call him Sugar Ray. Call him Sweet Papa.
With the chicken. with the chicken on top.
With the chicken.
Ooh.
Yo.
Yes.
This is monumental. You know. We're gonna get this popping off.
Yeah. I want to hear about it.
Yeah, because this is something that, you know, as many times as me and JU sit on the phone and talk and build, I never ask him this question. And I never, you know, it's the famous V-Love Soul Brother, let's get it on question of the beginning. What we really want to know about your story, we want to know, how did you start dancing? At what age, what time, where, what point, who was there, who wasn't there? Let's get it.
Shit. Okay. I'm gonna go to the very, very beginning, like where it just everything started, the origin. So it started in Inglewood, California. So I stayed across the street from Inglewood Park, which they call Cinella Park. So during this time, this is like 80s. This is like 85. No, this is before that. This is like 80, 81. I was probably like 5 years old, listening to like KDAY. So KDAY was like the first catalyst, because it always starts with the music. Of course, the music is like, that started everything. So I'm just browsing the station, just looking for some good music. And I hit AM, I hit KDAY. And the first thing I hear was the Batarang by Fat Boys.
How old were you at this time?
I had to have been 5 years old, 5 or 6 years old. 5 or 6 years old. And I was playing with Transformers on
Batarang Tiny T or Batarang Fat Boys?
Batarang Fat Boys.
Okay.
Fat Boys. Yeah. That was the first.
I thought it was Tiny Tay's knee.
Nah. So that was the first thing. And I'm like, what's this? I'm like, just bobbing my head. I'm just like on a porch. I'm like, this is dope. Next song comes on is UTFO. And I'm like, ooh. So from those two tracks and going to the elementary school I went to Sentinel Elementary School, and I would see cats like on a tarp, they would be popping and locking. It basically started from that point. That was the first origin point from where my love for the music started. Right there.
On the playground.
On the playground and at the house, listening. I had like a little boombox that my mom gave me. I had a boombox, listening to KDAY almost every day. That was the very start of everything.
She's here.
I did.
What's up, Fro?
Hey, what is up? What is going on? How's everybody doing?
I was just preparing a sarcastic intro, so I can say glad you joined.
Broke
us.
up.
You
broke up a little bit.
To who?
Me. My sister.
You had to be here, bro. Shoot.
You better be here. I'm telling mother.
Bringing our guest on at 5. Shoot.
He was ready. He called me early this morning and said, "Good morning, legend."
Jay, you was ready last week. He was ready last week. Jay, you was ready last week. Yo, he had the dope stuff too. All of the videos then was so freaking dope, yo. I was telling Ledge and I was telling V, I really wish I could have been a part of that whole little cipher with all the dancers. I thought it was so dope that y'all were able to go to a studio, have camera crew there on hand, and each of you got to do y'all thing. And I thought that was just so freaking dope. I'm like, when are they going to do that in Atlanta? You're welcome. So whenever I come out to LA, I'm going to need that to happen again. However we got to do that, we just need to do it.
It's going down.
That's what's up.
First place I'm taking you is the Merc.
I appreciate that. That's what's up.
Word out. Very good.
Yeah.
So get back to what you were getting on. You know what I'm saying? We got you.
Yes, yeah, so
on Soul Train. I mean, not Soul. Be quiet. On K-Day. You listen to K-Day. You heard Fat Boys Battle Round, and you heard Roxanne Shante, and then you went to the playground, and they was getting busy. Where else we going after that?
So then I started getting busy in my room. I started just practicing by myself. Didn't have nobody to dance with. Nobody on the block danced because the people on the block, they was banging. I grew up around it was Cinderella Park family. They was battling gang. It was like a gang war at that time against Lennox. It was crazy, dude. It was literally dead bodies across the street from my house that was being in the park. They would kill people and put them in the bathroom. And the next morning we would wake up, the police would be pulling dead bodies out the bathroom.
Wow.
That's what I grew up seeing that as a kid. So
I'm
dancing in my room. It was crazy. It was a crazy time. And so from going through all that, my mom was like, we gotta get out of this, and she moved out of that neighborhood. And that got me away from that element. But even being within that element, I was never, I knew whatever's going on with this gang war, I never wanted nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Seeing dead bodies, it was crazy. I'm like, this is these people are crazy. And it was a couple of neighbors that stayed down. They was like, you need to get from the hood and all that. I'm like, bro, I'm good. And I'm 6 years old, I'm a young kid.
Right.
I'm like, it was pretty crazy for them to approach. Now in hindsight, looking at that, a teenager approaching a young kid talking about get from the hood. Crazy. It was madness.
Gracious, Jesus.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What else did what else went on? We there to that era, then what moves on after that? What high school? You know what I'm saying? I know you was boogieing at the lunch dances and
that's junior high school. Junior high school, I would say, is when I really, I was going to house parties, and this is fast forward, I'm 14 years old, 15 years old, and I'm going to house parties in the neighborhood. And at that time, I was skateboarding heavy. A lot of people don't know that about my background. I was heavily into skateboard. I was a skater and I was a dancer. I was doing both at the same time.
Yeah, we both did
So
the same thing.
around that time, I was skating, like I said, in the daytime. In the nighttime, I was going to house parties. And I hung out with this cat named Keith. And Keith was a dancer and he was a skater also. So between his mother and my mother, they would take turns taking us to spots. So like the first like club that I went to, like club, like at that age, and this was probably like 9th grade, was Club Nouveau. And that was off of what was that?
I can't remember. I remember I went to the spot.
Western and I can't think of the cross street. Martin Luther King Boulevard. It was right by there. So I hit that. I started going there.
Was it by the Snooty? It was by the Snooty?
Snooty was down the street. Snooty was down Western.
Oh, so it was on the north side of King.
It was on King. It was on.
Oh, I
King.
know what you're talking about.
It was like a block before you get to actual Western.
So it was on King.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that spot. Okay.
Yeah.
That was a nice hangout for the young heads.
Yeah, I used to serve these little Tropicana drinks. That was cool, like non-alcoholic drinks. I remember those little Tropicana twisters.
Who was DJing up at the Club Nouveau?
Wait. Go back. You said that at this place they had these little Tropicana drinks that had alcohol in it.
No, non-alcoholic.
No, non-alcoholic.
Oh, okay.
Non-alcoholic, yeah.
Yeah, you know, we used to have a lot of clubs out here. Yeah, we used to have a lot of clubs out here that was like what, 16 and over? Was that, lads? Like we would have a lot of those type of clubs that were like
back this Aries season. How you gonna talk about the Snooty Fox and not mention the Snooty Fox? Another fucking mirrors on the ceiling. $25 an hour. What are you talking about?
He said the Snooty Fizzy.
25 hours, 25 hours, what was it? 25, no, what is it? $40 for 3 hours or $25?
He said this every season.
Yeah, the vampires be walking around there.
Close your ears, Alfro.
That's my still there. Close your ears, Alfro.
Yeah,
Y'all there, I'm gonna put y'all on the spot today. I'm gonna let y'all today. But don't say nothing to spark me. Don't rattle my cage.
Oh my gosh.
So during the Club Nouveau era, what other clubs was popping around you? Like because you guys era during that era, we wasn't. Oh, we were still.
It was a different era. It was one era where I went to house parties with Keith, and we went to Nouveau a few times. Now, when I went fast forward a little bit past that, when I went to Crenshaw, I met Corey, and that's the person that started. You from
the great Shaw. How you feel about that legend being from Tommy?
See, I don't like that school.
Would you don't like Hammy or you don't like Crenshaw? Which one?
I love Crenshaw.
You didn't like Hammy.
Y'all know I had put all my eggs in one basket. I wanted to go to Palisades. And when I didn't get there, I had no second choice. You know what I'm saying? I knew everybody at Dorsey. I wanted to meet new people. So I ended up fucking at Hamilton. So that's how it went.
Okay.
Crazy. I could have went to Palisades, but I didn't go because I was sick of getting bused.
Yo, V, I
was
bought
tired of the bus, man.
I bought the sweatshirt in 9th grade. Because I knew I was going there. I just had no doubt in my mind.
But you had a Pally shirt?
Yup, I bought a Pally shirt when I was still in junior high school, because I knew I was going there.
And you went there, right?
No. That was like one of them. That was like one of them, like exquisite schools. Uni, Westchester, Pally. Palisades was a good school. That was a bomb school.
You know what's crazy? If I would have went to Pally, I would have never hooked up with my crew. I would have never seen them, and my whole entire evolution would have been a different story. Because if I would have went to Pally, I'm pretty sure I would have probably hung out with Will. Because Will I Am went there. He would have been 1 grade higher than me. So I would have been in the 10th. He would have been in the 11th grade because he went to Pally. So that's who I probably would have been with him. And I probably would have still been chilling with my other friend that was skating because Keith went to Pally too. But I was sick of catching the bus. I was like, I'm not about to get up. I did it for 3 years. I used to go to Webster. So that was way out in West LA. I'm like, I'm not about to get up early in the morning for another 3 years. And I was like, nope, I'm going to being lazy. It was pure laziness. I went to Crenshaw. That's why I went to Crenshaw. I did not want to get up early to catch a bus and get bussed out to Pally. And that's what landed me at Crenshaw. I met up with Corey. He was the founder of the group. And everything started from there. That's really where the whole SWAT team, my group, everything started from that point out. I gave y'all the backstory to before I went to Crenshaw. So I was dancing like I did. I was dancing. I was skating, fully into hip hop music, listening to hip hop, completely immersed in the culture. And I go to Crenshaw. And when I got to Crenshaw, a lot of people from my school, Webster, that went to Crenshaw, was like, it was like a little dance outside, like a quad dance, like the first little dance, like I guess like you go outside and it was, I forget what they called it. It was like a welcoming thing. The Crenshaw welcoming the new students. They had a DJ on the quad, and it was playing some dope shit. I started dancing, and I see this tall dude, and he busting, and everybody from my school that, you know, we all knew at Crenshaw, like, oh, Jay, battling. I'm like looking at them like, chill. I'm new to the school. I don't know nobody here. I'm not about to start battling like upperclassmen and shit. And like battle, because they knew in junior high school I'm always in the circles. I'm dancing, so everybody knew me to be a dancer. Everybody knew that. So they're like, get him. And of course, Corey heard it. Corey hears it, and he look at me like, this little fool, like, man, get out of here. So he comes over and start busting. So that's how we met. We kind of met kind of like a little battle, like outside battle when I first got to the school. So,
Hey, let me ask you this, J.U. Since you was at the Shaw, right? And like even to this day, Cuddy, like at the age I'm at now, when I look at my cousin Terry's yearbook, bro, it's like the holy grail for me. Because Fluky Luke got best dancer that year. He was also the Yale King when the band, the drill team shit at the Yale King. He was dancing and, pumping the crowd. Yeah. Right? And y'all had so many dope ass dancers. And then y'all had cats hitting up the Crenshaw wall. Like even the guy who did my first logo with the fro, that was the logo of me too, that class era. And he passed it on to me. But so did you know that tradition was there? Because you guys guys that had the dancing, then the art, and then you had the gang banging time, and then the dancing came back, and the football came back, the sports and the basketball came back. So, you know you had that tradition there while you was there.
I found that out later, after the fact, actually.
Oh wow!
Yeah, a little bit after the fact.
Like pictures of Fluky Luke in the lockers and shit like that in the school.
This is what happened later on, like. Jelani's group, my homeboy's group, Majestic Movement, one of the members in his group, his name is Limbo.
Okay.
That's his family. So Fluky Luke is his dad. His uncle just passed away. Rest in peace, Shabadoo. Right. So when I met Limbo, when we met up about maybe when I 93, 94, he started telling me, yo, Pops went to Crenshaw. And then I found out about that history from him. That's so that dope. Came like later.
Dope.
Yeah. Crazy, but yeah, I didn't know it when I first went there, man. I think when I first went to Crenshaw, I was there 91. Yeah, 91 was my first year at Crenshaw. I graduated class of 94.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's what shots
names. Limbo Leo.
That's right, for sure. Yep, that's fam. That's right.
Well, and you said Flocky Lou. Flocky what?
Fluky Lou.
Fluky Lou.
Fluky Lou. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like AM, PM, Fluky Lou, Limbo Leo. These names.
One day, J.U., after you pass all B-Love's Cutting Mac test, I'll let you hold that yearbook.
I can't.
I would love to see it.
Bro, I'm telling you, I hold it like the Bible. Cause when I see it, I'll be like, ooh, like, man.
That's some history. That's some
Yeah,
rich
man.
history.
Wow, that's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Well, shoot, it's now we're getting into the SWAT team. So this is my last question out of that. How did the SWAT team, you know what I'm saying? Who is the SWAT team and what did you guys represent? You know what I'm saying? Because I know there was an era of where it was just like y'all carried on this freestyle tradition in Los Angeles where I know we used to walk up in the clubs and cause so much ruckus. And then y'all kind of took on that same kind of spirit. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people followed our spirit and took it to another level with that kind of, you know, attack mode. So you just said something about it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it goes deeper.
That was a culture, and that's all we were exposed to. Going to clubs like Nouveau and going to different spots. I mean, I try to explain to like new cats how that vibe was back then, and it's kind of hard for them to kind of recollect the intensity and the vibe that was going on. I was like, man, shit was serious. It was very serious. But as far as SWAT team, it started at Crenshaw. So I get there, I meet Corey. He's the founder of the group. And just to keep it a buck, so people understand, because this has been going on record. There was a SWAT team before the SWAT team that I'm talking about now, and I'm mentioning it just to put it out there. Corey had a SWAT team started with another cat named Kendrick, but that SWAT team never really took off. So when I came to Crenshaw and Corey saw me, and I'm dancing, he started it back up, and that's when the SWAT team that everybody knows now took shape. So the second member of the group, I was the first member of the new SWAT team. The second member that came in was Gibb, and people know him as Bear. That's the big cat from the group, smooth as ever. He came in, so he was the third. I actually have footage when us three dancing on my IG page when we first met at the first high school dance. I actually have that footage where you can see us dancing in the circle when we first came together, when SWAT team was just 3 people. So I actually have that footage. So from that member, from Gibb, Will, one of my childhood friends that I grew up with, we grew up like since we were like 5 years old on my grandmother's block. So he came into the group. So 4th member, and then the 5th member was actually in that exact same footage when it was just 3 of us. And the 5th member was Jerron, which people knew him as Tempo. He was actually in the background dancing and didn't even know us at the time. But he's in the footage. And after that first dance, that homecoming dance, he got at us and was like, yo, where y'all be dancing at? And I was like, yo, we dance in the garage at my mom's pad. So he came through and started practicing with us, and then he became another member.
That's dope.
It was another member too. I don't want to go too far into that. But it was a short-lived member. His name was Sydney. And I ain't gonna go all into that, but he came in and came out. And it was also another member of the group, and her name was Touche. It was a girl in our group. And that's another story. That's another story that I'm gonna let her tell her story. But things happened to her overseas, and she was in a group, and then she came back way later. So I don't want to get into her story. It's not my place to tell her story, but we keep in contact to this day. We in contact with her.
That's fine.
So that was the group.
Okay.
Okay. And so wait, when you say her, did you mention her name? I'm sorry, I didn't.
Her name is Touche. Her name is Touche. She was actually a background dancer for Yo-Yo.
Okay.
She was in Yo-Yo's video.
She sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she was one of I think it was two girls in the dance for Yo-Yo. She was one of them.
Okay.
I'm gonna pass the baton to one of y'all. Well, wait. Okay, I gotta do it this way.
I mean, I'm ready to talk about these recording sessions. I don't know if Ledge may have something before then, but that's where I'm at. I'm trying to see what's up with these recording sessions.
Well, Afro and Bashan stopped sending me telegrams. I could concentrate on.
Yo, you putting people on blast. I don't know if it was like that. I'm not going to utilize my little text area over here since you put me on blast, yo. Word up.
Telegrams.
Word up. You don't put people on blast,
Why are you on the show?
I love them both.
No, my biggest thing is I don't know if we're coming in blurry or not. I mean,
no, you good. You good.
No. On our are we? I don't know if we're coming in blurry to our audience. That's all because it's shows blurry over this way. I don't know. That's why I just wanted to know what was up with that. I'm sorry. Okay, you gotta tell the audience why you keep interrupting Ledge on your own. That's why I had to tell everybody why I had to hit him up. You know what I mean?
With their Betty Davis eyes.
Whatever, Ledge. Don't be silly, okay? You can get your eyes to do the same thing. Just
so before we get to the session, right? Because this is where I drifted and started getting my Bojangles and hooping life on. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the underworld. So did Craig and V kind of pass y'all the baton or okay, y'all the next wave? Like how no?
Oh, I got a story for you. I got a story for you.
We're the next generation. So like I said, how to that bridge, start right there.
Okay. Well, this is I give you one story. So in our era, the era when we came in was after y'all era, of course. You guys, y'all was at West Coast Spark, inspired me to do what I'm doing. I was watching, like I said, watching y'all on Pump It Up videos, Def Jeff, all over. I'm like, whoo, So we seeing what was going on around that time, seeing cats like y'all, Dynamite Soul, Scheme Team. We were really practicing a lot. We practiced a lot during high school before we started hitting clubs heavy.
Right.
Once that started happening, I would just, there was other clubs in here, but I would say the main club that we smashed and we locked down was Unity. Club Unity was our home, and that was something where it was the biggest outlet where we saw Biggie Smalls perform Party and Bullshit for the first time, and we got a chance to see groups like Dayline, all these groups up and close and personal. So Unity was an era that was started by Orlando and Bigger B. Rest in peace, Bigger B. And they started this spot, and that was where we hit that spot almost every single time, from the first one until the last one. So at that spot, you had groups like Majestic Movements was there, Down to Earth. You had Tribe Unique with you had Vital Minds, definitely Vital Minds. So you had these groups, and we would converge, and we would all come together at this spot. Mm-hmm. And before that happened, right around the beginning time when this happened, we had a run-in with Craig. V knows this story, so I'm about to tell the story.
Craig.
The story's gonna come out now. So we walking in the neighborhood. We on 54th, and there was this roster building right next to this gas station. It was off of 11th Avenue and 54th.
That's
we had no idea. Craig used to teach classes there, right? But we didn't have no idea he was in there. We just heard music. I forgot what he was banging. We was like, who's banging that? I don't know if it was K Solo. I don't know what it was. I don't know what he was banging, but it was old school. It was dope. And we heard it banging. We was like, yo, where that music coming from? And we was like, it's over here. So we walked inside. We knocked on the door. Nobody came to the door. So we walked in. So we walked into this building, and we saw Craig by himself with some music, just busting in front of a mirror. Mm-hmm. And then Corey was like, Craig from Soul Brothers? And he turned, he was like, yo, what's up? Like, damn, Craig from Soul Brothers is in the hood. What's going on? So we excited to see him, you know what I'm saying? We all dap him up, boom, boom, boom. Like, yo, man, we dance too. He's like, oh, yeah, what y'all call yourselves? We SWAT team. SWAT team, word. He like, okay. He's like, so y'all dope? We was like, we cool, you know, we good. We get it in. We can hold our own. Oh, is that right? Y'all can hold your own? He's like, well, I tell y'all this, y'all need to practice, you know what I'm saying? We ain't even dance yet. He tell us about practice. I'm like, we practice all the time. He was like, y'all know about Club Unity? I was like, yeah, we go to Club Unity. He was like, well, if you want to battle, we can battle.
No.
Like, Corey looked at me. I looked at him. I'm like, battle? You want to battle? He's like, y'all say y'all dope? Y'all say y'all dope, right? I said we can hold our own, man. I said, cool. I was like, damn, we looking at it like this. This is a legend before us, and we would inspire all of us in our group. And he's telling us he want to battle. So there ain't no way we turning that down. We gotta meet. We gotta do what we gotta do. I said, okay, cool. Next Unity, meet us at the next Unity is going down.
See, I can't. That I'm so weak off of this. That's cute though. But go ahead.
Yeah. So we go to the spot. We there early. We ready. I'm hyped because after that encounter with Craig, I was practicing like with my crew, and then when they would leave, I was still practicing like for hours, like making sure I'm good. Right. So we go to the Unity, we meet Craig. Craig is there. He's there. He showed up. He's out there kind of early too. Mm-hmm. We like, yo, what's up, man? Like, it's going down. I was like, Mark Love is on the turntables on the 1 and 2s.
You didn't bring the DJ in. You didn't bring the DJ.
He didn't bring the DJ. It was already Mark Love. He was a resident. Mark Love was a resident. So he was always spinning some cool shit. So Mark is spinning. Dope music is playing. I think it was like some Eric Sermon playing or something like that. Cool, let's go. Craig was like, okay, I ain't battling all of y'all. So I was like, well, pick who you want. So Craig picked me. He picked Corey. I think it was someone else. He picked 3. So I was like, okay, let's just make it fair. Like you go one round and I'll follow you. I'll go after you go. So Craig went in, did his thing, bam, bam, bam. He busted, woo, woo, woo. I get in, I tear it up, boom, boom, boom. I do a standstill backflip. He like, everybody go crazy because I'm 6'2", and I can do a standstill backflip. I do a standstill backflip to a spin, and Craig is just like, Craig went like this, like, oh shit, this tall ass motherfucker did a backflip. He tripping out like that's his first time seeing us dance. Right. So we went, and after that, Craig was like, y'all dope as a motherfucker. Y'all cool, man. And that's where our friendship started right there. That's where it was like he knew us, we knew him. And that was like the beginning of us introducing ourselves to him. And, it went from there.
That's fresh. I like
that. I like those receipts because 2 parts of the story don't even sound like Craig. So I gotta check those receipts, Cuddy. So I'll get back with you to confirm your story. Because 2 parts I can't believe right now.
I got receipts though. Look, I got receipts. Because people that was there. Later.
And what really got me when you said crazy like this.
Exactly.
I remember that.
Oh my God. You said that he was like
bugging.
I ain't too arrogant for that.
So arrogant.
You know what? Because I caught him off guard. I caught him off guard when I did it. I made sure I was right next to him when I did it. Because I knew he wasn't expecting me to do something like that. I'm like, I'm about to pull out some of the stops on him. Make sure he know what time it is. Like, so, and I'm doing it all on beat too. I mean, I'm not just doing a flip to be doing a flip. It's all on beat. You know what I'm saying? Rocking, vibing. I'm like, no, we the real deal, bro.
It's crazy too because I went to all the Unities and I don't know how I missed this.
You missed that one. You came later, but it was at a car dealership. It was It was off of La Brea. I'll never forget it. It was on La Brea. And I think you came later because that night was wild.
Wow.
I think that night it was a lot of.
Is that over there by Fairfax?
What you say?
Was it over there by Fairfax?
Yeah, it was. It was in West LA. Yep. It was in West LA.
Okay. Because I mean, we performed at them so many times. Like you know, we opened like the first. We danced for the first Unities. We did it with Biggie Smalls and EPMD. Well, it was PMD. It was when he was by himself.
Yeah.
And then we did one with him and Craig Mack and Biggie. And but you know, what's his name used to pull in all the dope people at Unities. I mean, everybody came there. Redman, Method, you know, Wu-Tang,
Yep.
you know, Large Professor. I think the only people we didn't see there was like Rakim.
I don't think
who else was Lost Boys came there. All kind of people came there. Daylock came there. Tribe came there.
Yep.
They had
everybody.
Yeah.
I almost had everybody. That was the one place that was on the West Coast.
Yeah, Wu-Tang was like they would come and just take over for like a whole month. You know what I mean? They would like remember it'd be like, you know, Ghostface would do a show one night, and the next time it'd be like Raekwon or it'd be Wu. But yeah, that's crazy because a whole bunch of battles used to go up there. That's when I used to see y'all the most. I used to see y'all getting up there getting busy. Cause I would get, you know, that was an era where we go and we dance, get sweaty, and leave. You know what I mean? Or I get on the side. Exactly. As soon as I got sweaty, I'm ready to go because people was all like, damn, man, you sweating.
That's just what it was. That's what it was. I mean, that was I mean, for those days, man, are some of the most memorable times because of just the camaraderie and just even the tension between different groups and all of that was just like it was so much. I mean, and it was nowhere else really on the West Coast where you could go, where you could see these groups from the very beginning and see them at their start and see them grow. It was no other place really where you could go and see that unless you was in LA. You know, that wasn't. I don't know how many of those groups went up to the Bay. I don't know. That's a question Super Dave can probably answer. But as far as in LA, Unity was it.
Right.
That was it.
It was it. And you know, and before that, it was what was it, Water the Bush?
Yeah, Water the Bush and all those.
You guys ever make it to those?
I never got a chance to go.
Oh my God!
Well, of course, you know I didn't make it, so yeah.
You know, Water the Bush.
I went to one Hollywood Live. That was it.
Yeah, we used to go crazy at Water the Bush. That was y'all missed those sessions.
Yeah,
those were wild sessions, right, Legend?
That was a little bit after our time because, like I said, I graduated class in '94, and like I'm 45 years old right now. So the cats that were able to make like Water the Bush, they're like they're like 47. They're like Papa Chicken's age because Papa Chicken caught all that, and he stayed around where I was, but he caught a little bit more than what I was able to catch.
Right.
But some of the spots I did catch, it was a spot on the east side that I went to. This was like early '90s called Studio East, and that was a spot that was crazy there too.
Did you guys ever get to hit Hollywood Live? Because that's where Fro and them used to be.
I went there once.
The only club that I went to besides the Do-Over in Hollywood. Whatever club.
But the Do-Over is the shit.
I was there, and I still cannot believe that I didn't see you guys.
But at the Do-Over, what era? That was early.
That was later.
Yeah, that was early 2000s.
That was like 2008.
Yeah. I remember when I first found out about the Do-Over, I was like, a club outside? Oh, this is fire. I used to go to that club all the
video time. And the video mixing and all of that. That shit was dope. Like, oh my God, LA has so much flavor, y'all.
But you know what? That Do-Over was my nemesis right there. Out of all the clubs in the world.
Why?
They wouldn't let me in that motherfucker free.
I never paid.
Yeah. Do-Over. It was politics.
They used to sweat me at the door. I'd be like, but I'm sorry, Brother V. Oh, we don't know who you are.
That's a lie. They probably was like, no,
it was like somebody would walk up and be like, no, that's V-Love. And they'd be like, okay, man, come on in. I'd be so offended. I'd be like, How y'all gonna have a hip hop club and don't know who the SBs are? You know what I mean? Oh God.
Nah, yeah, I never paid. And what was so crazy when I first got there, I was like, so this is a lounge? Because when you first walk in, it looked like a little lounge area.
It's so small.
And then my friend was like, nah, we're gonna grab a drink from here and then we're gonna go to the back. So I just thought I just thought it was like a cool lounge. Man, when I got out there, it was like 35 minutes later. Kid you not. I got out there, it was like, yo, hip is in the motherfucking
house. Yeah,
I loved it. I was like, oh, this is the shit. Everybody was outside. Everybody was dancing. Everybody was reciting the words to every song that was coming on.
It reminds you of a New York club, huh?
I loved it.
They gave the females love, though.
I used to love that in New York.
The females, y'all was straight. Y'all had no problem. It was the guys. They sweated us. So if the guys, the way guys,
that's what it was.
Girls, so a guy would come there with a girl, and then that's how they would get in. But I went to one of the first do-over. I went to one of the first ones, like a little cantina across the street from like this gym. That was one of the first do-overs. I went a few times, and then after that, it went to another spot. When it went to that second spot, it was over. It turned super Hollywood, like meaning everybody, hip hop heads came there, industry heads was coming there. It turned to a whole big.
Well, when you talking about the cantina time, that was across the street from 24 Fitness Hour. That's when I was going.
That one was small.
Yeah, it was small, and then you go around the side, then you go to the back, and it would be crowded. Like,
yeah.
Damn, you know, you got standing space only.
I think that's the place that I went to. Was across the street from a gym.
Yeah, that was it.
Like a pharmacy up the block.
It's behind the Palladium.
I couldn't tell you. All I know is I was in Hollywood, and it was dope. It was fresh. I loved it. Had some sangria. I was good.
They got a club out there now that's by that same spot where it's right next to it. You got to walk through a refrigerator to go in.
What? I want to do that. Where's
that
this?
Shit is crazy. Yeah, it's like a 70s, like 80s.
So wait, this is happening now? They got a club like that out there?
It was last year, before the COVID started. It was a club, yeah.
You know, the only thing close to the do-over that they had in New York that I recently went to, I want to say it's Soul in the Horn. I don't want to fuck their name up. Damn. It's like Soul in the Horn or some shit like that. But it's just like the do-over. No, I kid you not. It is so dope, but it's like the East Coast version. And when I went to the one out in Brooklyn. And from what I was told, they do it like once a month in different areas. They'll find different spots. And it reminded me of, you know, the do-over. I was like, yo, this is dope. I mean, vibes like that always.
Okay, back to the interview. Let's get
back to the interview. Yeah,
I know.
Check it, Jason. Yeah. So did you guys have? I saw you guys had a lot of groups at that time, right? Like I said, I was probably coaching at that time. So I saw you had a lot of groups. But was there like a on stage competitions, or were everything circle based?
Everything back then was more circle based. It wasn't really competitions, like set up competition. That stuff came way later 2000s. It was still very raw in the 90, 95, 96, 97. It was very raw, very organic. They didn't have like battles. I mean, okay, wait, let me give an exception. There's an exception. There was a daytime spot called a Kibulon that was on Western. It was a daytime club, and it was presented by this cat named Kid Soul. It was another cat, Kid Soul, and I can't think of the other guy that did it with him. Somebody can help me out in the chat. But they did this thing called a Kibulon, right? So they used to throw battles. They would try to do battles there of different groups. And the biggest thing back then was everybody wanted to see my group battle this other group called Majestic Movements. Was one of the biggest, most prominent groups back in the early 90s, right? Mm-hmm. So they would try to instigate these battles. We battled a group called Down to Earth there, and we battled some other group from, I think, IE. And we won both of those battles. And I think Majestics, they battled Down to Earth there. They won. And then everybody was like, well, Majestics beat everybody. SWAT team beat everybody. It's only right for y'all to battle. The battle never happened. When we met up with that group, Majestic Movements, we became friends, and we had so much in common.
Right.
Things that we was dancing to, culture, and we respected one another. You know what I'm saying? But there was tension in the very beginning, but that battle never happened. So we just became cool. But that was the only place where they were hosting like actual, like somebody on the mic saying, today we got a battle. We got, SWAT team over here. And so that was the only time where there was like anything hosted, to my memory, to my recollection, where it was like a actual, like, I guess, put on battle, like hosted battle. Mm-hmm. Other than that, it was just see me in a circle, and that was it.
I felt when, like I said, when I met AJ, they kind of pulled me in the game. I thought it was like kind of premature, like the timing of it, compared to all the generations before us. And it happened. So I'm asking is with all being battle based and everything circle based and battles, like how did you guys allow the You Got Served movement to survive? Because that's when they start calling us back in the game. They saw that was like, I don't want that. We got to go back to the hardcore. That's when they started asking about the Soul Brothers and shit again. That's when I discovered AJ and the SWAT team and shit like that. So being battle based, how come you guys, like I said, was more the underground street cats? How come y'all didn't go for them cats?
Wait, go for who? Like when you say them cats, like
anybody,
like the ones that were dancing in those movies.
Like
we were the dance cats and all that stuff.
Like why y'all didn't go for their throats? And just like
I've heard some of these stories.
We did. And you talking about this is late. Let me give y'all years when we went into Hollywood. We went from the underground scene into Hollywood, and I would say that the year would be 97. 97 would be the year. And the clubs that was going on in Hollywood at the time was this club called Carlos and Charlie's, and was a club called Roxbury.
Yep.
Those two spots, we went there. And when we went there, we met up, we friended this cat named Geechee. Geechee was one of the dancers for Arrested Development. So he was already in the Hollywood scene. He was, a budding actor, dancer. And so when we got in the scene, when we first went to Hollywood, that's one of the people we ran into. And he saw us. He was like, "Then y'all dope, dude. Where y'all from?" He's like, "We from South Central." He's like, "Word." He's like, "I'm out here he was on back east or back Midwest or something like that." He was like, "Yo, I danced in the Arrested Development video." I was like, "Oh yeah, we seen you. We seen you." Like, you was dope. So we friended with him. And from that point, we saw a lot of these other dancers. Who were these other dancers? Well, one of them was like Afion. That's where I met Afion Crockett. Who else? I met the guy that does Carnival, Kerry. I met him a little bit before then, but Kerry was there. The guy that was hosting it was this guy named Crescendo, and I met a lot of these Hollywood. Teresa Espinoza, she was there. All these, we would call them the Hollywood heads. That's what we would call them, because it was a different energy, a little different energy from the energy that we come from. So when we got there, that's where a lot of battles. I mean, we pretty much battled the whole club. And anybody could come in the chat, and I got receipts. We went there. We destroyed the whole club. We went crazy because we was hungry. We was very hungry. And we wanted to let people know who we were, where we were coming from, and let people know like what was going down. So when we saw them dance, we was like, "This is what y'all coming with?" We was like, "Y'all whack." So we was just killing. We was smashing. We went to Roxbury almost every weekend. Every other weekend we would go there and smash. And this is, the mentality that we had a battle mentality. I mean, coming up from where we come from in the hood, and this is what we learned. You know what I'm saying? I tell V too, like seeing y'all dance and seeing the culture, we picked up on these things. Whether it be good or bad, we wasn't really judging it. We just knew that that's what it was. And if you were a dancer, you got to come with it. You wasn't coming with it, then we gonna test you. And we will always try other dancers in the circle. We were known for that. And so, especially in Hollywood, so we went there smashing, and then that led us to another chapter where we met this guy named Renee, which was Janet Jackson's husband at the time.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Renee, and we got a chance to meet Janet. That's a whole other story. But that happened from us going to Hollywood and just battling and just, riffing on everybody, sneaking in the club. Sometimes the bouncer would let us in, was hating.
Mm-hmm.
We'd go and sneak in through the top window on the second floor, put ladders against the window. We was wilding. That was the time we was wilding. The 90s SWAT team was wilding.
Wow.
I know you got. I know you somewhere right now, and there's somebody right with you, huh?
Oh yeah.
You got somebody.
We got a Majestics Movements OG member here.
Woo!
Let him
What's up, y'all?
Hi.
He got his stutter shades on with the fat gold rope.
That's right. I'm just chilling.
Y'all in the man cave right now.
Yep.
I see the polo posted, the Lolo in the background. Yo, tell the crowd who you with.
All right, I'm Reverse from Majestic Movements. So me and my boy Jay. So we hooked up later on, and we did a lot together. In the early days, we ended up going to Japan. Dancing with Tony T.
Okay.
And then we created basically what we did is me, Jason, Jerron, and Leo. Leo is the original Limbo from Majestic Movement.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jason and Jerron, we connected. And we didn't necessarily have a group, but we was Peg West Coast Finest because we had another. It was other people from that particular area.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in that group, but we danced together. We went to Japan together. We did a lot of different.
Did you have routines? You guys had routines too?
We necessarily didn't have routines. It was all freestyle based.
Okay.
Jason has a lot of stuff on the channel where you can actually see it, and you would think it was routine, but it was all freestyle and vibe based.
I like to see that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we actually perform freestyle. The whole performance was freestyle. And when we did that, what he's talking about is a trip we took to Japan in 2003. And we went out there and we performed out there. We did individual solo pieces that was completely freestyle for like 4 minutes. And then we freestyle actually together. And the people in Japan, after we finished, they thought it was a routine. They said that was an incredible routine. And Tony T was telling them, like, no, that wasn't a routine. What they just did was off the top. And they didn't believe it. They thought that he was like some type of charlatan. They thought that he was lying. They really thought that he was lying about it. And he got really pissed off. And he was like arguing. And we was like, what's going on? He was like, and then I remember this girl, I think her name was Maki. She was like, they don't believe Tony T. They think that what he presented is a lie. So, I mean, I guess that's a testament to how good we were.
Yeah,
we were like a jazz band. You know how jazz bands is freestyle. They just play
coming in after each other. Like, one person leave, y'all was playing in off each other, and it looked like, a routine. You was playing off each other. So
exactly.
But I've seen y'all do that before, so I know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So you could think that, but it's just like watching, like you said, if you watch old school tap dancers back in the day, when one come in, he comes sliding in, and then and he when he leave, the other one just come in. We used to do it too at spots, so it would look like we were working. It was like we be working together doing things, but it wasn't a routine. It was just natural shit.
Right, and the stuff
freestyling.
that somebody else would remember would probably like emphasize your movements.
I mean, once it's filmed and archived,
Exactly.
yeah, it does. It becomes a routine. You feel me? But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I know what you're talking about. That's dope.
That is dope. So I have to ask this. What are you, let me ask you two things. Before I ask the very first question that I've been wanting to ask, what are you doing right now, Jay?
Right now, I am currently I'm doing recording sessions, but it's being developed as a television show.
Word. Okay. Because I see that you're the radio host, you're a creative director. Kudos to you. I think that's so dope. But with recording sessions, I definitely wanted to delve into that. I wanted to know more about that. I wanted the audience to hear exactly what you're doing.
Okay, recording sessions, let me go to the beginning when that started, because recording sessions is something that was developed way later. It was started in 2013 at my dance studio in LA.
At where? What studio?
It was at my dance studio in LA. I had a studio. A lot of the clips that you see that's on my page and on my IG, a lot of those clips was filmed at my dance studio.
Awesome.
I got that studio in 2000.
Okay.
And I had it all the way up into 2018.
Okay.
And we sold it. It got sold. My grandmother got sick, and we needed the money to take care of some things for her. But up until that time, I had the studio, so that's where we practiced. That was a place that we got down for years. Right. Yeah, every Friday we was there like clockwork. That was like church. We was there like for years. And we recorded almost all of them.
Yeah.
So
and that's what a lot of stuff that you guys see that he posts is a lot of stuff that we did back in the day, because this dude he kept everything and recorded everything.
That's good.
So is really, really dope,
No, yeah, because that footage that you sent was like excellent. I wish I had footage from back in the day, when we were dancing and, I really don't have the only footage I have is videos, and that's videos that we've seen on Video Music Box. Other than that, I had like maybe one show that was recorded, and I don't even know where the hell that's at. So for you guys to have all of that archive, that's what's up, because you never know when you're going to need it. Such as this time, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I was blown away. So, I mean, that footage is everything. You got a lot of dances. Papa Chicken was doing his thing in that too.
Yes, absolutely.
And I was like, look at him. He was not playing. It was another young lady. It was two young ladies that I got to see. It was an Asian girl, I believe.
Miko.
Yes, Miko, right.
Yeah, shout out to you, Miko.
That's right. And then it was another young lady, brown skin. And I was telling Legend, like, her whole
was that Tish?
Approach. What was her name?
Was that Tish?
No, it wasn't Tish.
No.
Tish was in there, but Tish wasn't dancing. I didn't see
okay.
this one.
It could have been Touche. I don't know. I'm not sure. It was a few sisters that was there. I know the footage you're talking about. That was one of the first ones that I did. I think DiBiase was he was producing. He was one of the people playing music. His production.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they interviewed Miko in the beginning of that tape video. Yeah. But to answer your question about recording sessions, because Jelani, I'm glad you brought up what you did, because I'm gonna take it back to really how it started. When we started practicing in the very beginning, when my group SWAT team came together, we wanted to figure out a way that we can track our progress as we were dancing. So the whole thing started with me coming up with this idea, like, let's record it with a camera. At the time, my aunt had this old camera. It was a Panasonic camera where you could put one of the VHS tapes on the side.
Right,
it was a real big, bulky camera. And it was just, she wasn't using it. It was just kind of like collecting dust.
Right.
And I begged and I begged. I must have begged my aunt, like, this is a true story, for probably like a whole week. I said, Auntie, please, Auntie, let me use your camera. She's like, what you need to use it for? I'm like, we just want to record our practices, and we want to just be able to see ourselves, because we didn't want to put a mirror up, because we knew already just that would mess up when you freestyle dance, looking in a mirror will just mess up your whole mindset because you're thinking while you're dancing, and that's you already messed it up. So we wanted to just vibe out and record the session, and then after we finish dancing 2 or 3 hours, go back, look at the footage, and then I need to brush up there, I need to clean that up, and then and then that's how we progress. So that's the first time I grabbed the camera. My aunt let me use the camera, and ever since, and I had that camera in 1992. Ever since then, I've always had a camera. From that day forward, and I've recorded pretty much everything from then all the way up until now. So learning how to edit. Shout out to Chris. Chris taught me how to edit with I bought my first computer around 1996. This is when AOL was, when you had to log on and you like.
Oh no! Yes.
I was there. I was there at the very beginning. Had that, and this cat that we knew, his name was Chris. He taught me how to use a computer. It's like, Jay, you need to get this thing called Pinnacle System. You can hook it up. You can hook your camera up to it. You can edit your video. Like, for real? So that led to me doing our first documentary. What was the beginning of the end, which is on my YouTube page.
Yeah.
That was a documentary we did about our group SWAT team. It was almost an hour long video. And I went to Japan in 1998, which that was the first time I went. I went by myself. I went with Asia and Easy Rock from Rocksteady. They went with me. So those are the people I went with. And that was by Tony T. We was out there for a 2-week tour. So when I went out there, I was able to get our tapes out there, and we started spreading our documentary out in Japan. That was the first time. That was an incredible experience. And then from then, I did another documentary with this cat. Was in it was me, Jelani, Tempo, and Limbo, and that was called Show and Prove, the freestyle dance experience. That's another documentary that we put out, filmed it, edited, and then from there, it was just the idea was in my mind cultivating after that documentary. Like, yeah, it would be dope if we could dance like us dancers had our own platform. Like, we could create a platform for ourselves away from advertisement. Like, mostly dancers, other than like Tony Awards, like Bring on the Noise, Bring on the Funk, where it's like a stage and people sit down. That's something that a dancer has full control to the audience.
Right.
But other than that, dancers have always been used as advertising. Like, other words, it'd be a rapper or singer, and they would use a dancer to help push the album. It'd be used for advertising or marketing.
Yeah.
Toyota commercials, anything else. So mostly dancers would get their work by doing commercials and advertising for other artists, but not solely the dancer themselves.
Right.
So the whole idea, what I'm trying to say is the whole idea behind recording sessions was for dancers to start building with where the music was being made, to actually start working with producers, so it wouldn't be like dancers dancing music as an afterthought. Right. But if dancers and producers come together, we could create our own platform. So this was going swirling through my head.
Right.
So around that time, I was building with my bro here. I was also building with a cat named DiBiase, good friend of mine, producer. And I was also building with Ross G, rest in peace, my shirt. I was building with this guy right here.
Okay.
So this guy right here, with these 3 guys, we were building with this idea in the like early 2000s, late 2000s. It was just always swirling in my head, like, I want to do this. I want to do this project with producers. I want to bring dancers and producers together. Fast forward to 2013, that was when I actually said, I'm going to actually do this. I'm going to put money behind this. I'm going to invest in this. I'm going to do it.
Right.
And I was very afraid of doing it. I was afraid of letting people that I didn't know come back to my studio. I was thinking my equipment was going to get stolen, because up until 2013, I didn't allow people to go back there and practice with us. It was fear because I know how quickly people come steal your shit. So I was I was not letting nobody back there. I was very private. I lived a very private type of life, you know, where I only bought people that were my day ones, you know what I'm saying, back there. So when I started doing recording sessions, I was terrified. And people probably don't know that about me, but I was terrified. I literally was. I'm like, man, my shit gonna get taken. They gonna come back. I was like tripping, but everything worked out. You know, DiBiase, Raji was like, bro, everything's gonna be fine. You overthinking shit, Jay. You overthinking it, bro. Just put it together. You know, my bro here was just like encouraging me. Just do it, bro. We got you. We got your back.
Right.
So that turned into it turned into a beautiful thing.
Right.
So that's all the footage you saw. The one that you saw in my studio, that was like one of the first ones I did. Then I think I went to a place called Magic Gate. That was a place I rented like maybe 2015. That was ran by Monica Payne and Too Short. They had they were together at the time. They were a couple, but they had a place called Magic Gate up in Studio City. I used to do recording sessions up there. They gave me a good deal. Then from there, I rented a place in Hollywood called SIR, and I did a recording session there. And then from that one, that was the last one I did, where it was more like a showcase where I would invite dancers and producers. And then from there, I started to work more on the development of a television show.
Okay, that's what you do music as well?
What's that?
You produce music as well, Jay?
No, I don't. I can produce, but I would never call myself a producer. I just dabble a little bit, but no. But that's something I want to do. It's something I definitely want to do.
Pretty interesting.
Shout out to my girl Monica Payne. Oh, that's my homegirl right there.
Oh, you know Monica? Yeah.
Yeah.
So after listening to everything that you said today, giving us some insight on your experiences through life from high school, meeting the Soul Brothers, dancing, jumping into the circles, creating your circles, even battling Craig. Which I love that story, by the way, especially when you said
cover his face like a white woman in despair. You're not gonna put
listen. That was a lot of things. It was really, because I really like pictured everything, like him in the room by himself dancing, and him asking y'all if y'all want to battle. Oh my God! But
it was an honor. I mean, it was an honor. It was big for us because we were inspired by Soul Brother. We were inspired by the legend. So to have that happen was just like we was geeked. Like woo, like.
No, I totally get it. And that's why I'm saying I think that was just so dope. You know what I'm saying? For you guys to even experience it like that. But if there was anything that you could say to your younger self, what would you say?
Only thing I can think of is live without fear.
That's what's up.
That's the only thing I can think of. Live without fear. I think fear was something that I had to get past in different aspects. I had to get past fear. It prevented certain things that could have happened.
Right.
And because that fear was there, certain things did not happen.
Right.
And once where I am now is I eradicated that, like for the most part.
Right.
So that propelled me once I was able to get past that point. But having good people around you and having people that really care about you, that love you, that helped me with my fear. You know what I'm saying? Big time.
That's right.
So I'm blessed in that respect. I'm very blessed.
Right. And this is what's so dope about this show, because, you know, there's other people that watch this show. There's other dancers, younger dancers than, you know, that are coming up that were possibly even younger than we were when we, believe it or not, you know what I'm saying? When we started. So I think it's important that, you know, when we have the opportunity to reach a platform and speak to these younger dancers, hit them with that. You gotta like let them know, because we're not the only ones that dealt with fear, dealt with the inconsistencies, dealt with doubt, dealt with all of that. And when they hear from pioneers, from legends, from people who have been there, done that, and that's still doing great things, it's always good to hear those aspects. It's always good to hear the outcomes, and telling people that you don't have to just face your fears. That would just like, because you don't want to miss those opportunities. So I think it's so dope. That's one of the things that I love about this show. It's important,
Yes.
Man.
True.
Yes.
True.
We're gonna get you back on the show.
For sure. I definitely got a story to tell.
Yeah, I want to hear
yes,
it.
He got a hell of a story, bro.
Yes,
he got a story.
We're gonna need you on here.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
I need to shoot your son over to Legend Show. Why I make beats. Legend, his son is fire on the production.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be real cool. That's a whole story in itself, because he was a baby with us in the studio dancing.
That's right.
Right.
He should.
That's needed. Mm-hmm.
He inspired. He was inspired by what y'all do and what
he's
doing around y'all.
That's dope.
Yeah, I definitely got video footage with a backpack and Pampers while he was with us.
Wow, that's what's up. That's good though. It's good because look at what he's doing now. So,
So what are you doing, JU, with the with record session recently? I know some things popped off for you. Like, I know you don't want to let everything out the bag.
Can't say too much, but like right now, I'm working on a pilot. I'm teamed up. I have a really good team. Shout out to Chuck. Shout out to Coy. Shout out to Aloe. And we're working on it right now. And that's something that I would say this. I would say in the near future, it'll be some things coming at y'all.
So you mentioned Chuck. Chuck just put the short movie out. Yeah.
Yes.
Was the Dad Talk?
Young black filmmaker,
yeah. Dad Talks. Tanya's singing at the beginning of it. She she sings Amazing Grace. Good looking out. That's on that. Right. You plugged her up, so she got to sing on the beginning of that. So it starts off the movie.
I collaborate with I've done some collaborations. That's one collaboration, and it was a blessing. I met Chuck at Magic Gate at Monica Payne's old spot and Too Short. That's where I met him at. He actually walked in on a recording session and was like, "What's going on here?" I was like, "Doing this thing called recording session." We met and we became real good friends from there.
He's a good guy. He's a real good guy.
That's dope.
Yeah, he's good people. Good people. Yes, sir.
I want to know, have you talked with Limbo lately?
Yeah.
I've spoken to him. He's doing good. You know what I mean? He's in a good place where he's kind of rebuilding. So yeah, Leo, we watch for him. He'll be out. He'll be out soon. So whoever is worried about Limbo, because he's a legendary figure, in the community, he's doing good. So he'll show his face soon.
That part.
Right.
Yep.
That's a blessing. As long as he's alive, and you know what I'm saying? And we wanted to definitely give a big shout out to the DMX family.
Absolutely.
And his children.
Yes.
That really hurt.
We just lost another one. So every time we do these, we film this, you know what I'm saying? And we put all this together for people to see us in time frame. These things are very substantial to us. This is going to let us live for a long time. Because as I see all the stuff with DMX and all his footage, that stuff is very important, because every time he speaks, or he's speaking right now, it's him speaking as him being alive.
And letting us know that he's at exactly V.
Because he's right where he's supposed to be.
At peace. He's okay.
Exactly. He spoke on prayer and love, and the love of God, and what so much that you know, we know that it had manifested that for him. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So as you know, it's like I was saying, like Ledge and JU, you guys are archivists. You know what I'm saying? You Frankie D, you guys archive things that are very substantial to our careers, and what you hold is gold. You feel me? All that footage y'all hold. Legend will go to every after we did a video. We didn't have video cameras as much. Legend would have one. He would keep something on deck, kind of like what you were doing, JU. And Legend would go straight to the producers of each show, and he would be like, every time we did a video, he'd be like, Can I get all the footage? So he would get all our footage. So it would be like not just us seeing, because you know, every time you do a video, it's always some little short, like, and then it's cut. You feel me? And then it cut. You know what I mean? So he used to grab all that. So he has all the footages from videos that we did, and it's just like back to the thing with, you know, with DMX. As I watched and see all the stuff, it was so important that all these people, and that he would always be in front of the camera saying something special or speaking about his life. And not just about what he owned. I mean, how many artists actually have that much footage of saying something that much positive?
No, absolutely. Or even praying. No,
it's so much. Like, it's like I didn't see that with Nipsey, not to be on that, like, you know, but it was just like when he passed away, all this beautiful, like, words from him just came out of, like, it was like he was speaking to the world through every one of these footages, you know what I mean? So it's like, when you do stuff like recording sessions, and when we film and we record and we do this and we archive things and we make sure everybody can speak, this has been a blessing for me to be involved with. You know what I mean?
It's a blessing. It's a blessing. Like this, just what's going on right now in real time is a 360 moment. It's really that moment, like right now for me, just from when I'm looking at you guys inspiring me to do what I do, and then now you hit me up like, yo, I want you to come on the show and archive this. I mean, this is like it's a like this. Out of any interview I've done with anybody my entire life, this is the one right here. This is the one for me that means the most here for me, because it's a 360 moment. It's like where you're recognizing me for the things that I've done, and back at you guys, I recognize you guys for being one of the biggest inspiration for me for what I do. And I mean, I thank y'all, man. I thank y'all for doing this, you know. Like,
if
seriously,
it wasn't for everybody putting that energy out, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And being the people that we are as dancers,
right?
That right there in itself is a get back for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't, you know what I'm saying? We're not looking for that. We just looking for what you guys done and what Fro has done and what all the different people we've brought to the show. They haven't got to tell their story, but it's great to tell their story.
That's right.
You feel me?
That's right.
You know, and we can always edit this stuff and put their footage with this as they talk. And this could be a bigger thing and just keep going bigger and bigger. And I'm glad everybody is getting something out of it. Like, you know, Legend, thank you, Legend, for keeping the production up on deck. You feel me? Like, you know what I mean? It's keeping it going. Yeah. And you guys keeping that footage going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know
keep that camera, Jay.
Always.
Yep. And we got,
ain't no time to stop now. Been doing it this long.
Yeah, we got some more special shows coming up. And as we go, we're going to keep bringing the freestylists, the dancers. We're going to bring some Soul Train dancers.
Word up. We're going to start rocking out, too, because, shoot, I'm 2 seconds from asking you to dance, Jay. What's up? You and Reverse.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. I hear you. That's what's up, man.
I'm about to pull a Craig on y'all like, y'all want to battle?
Look at her eye.
Did you see my face? Did you see my face?
Hey,
Y'all
sword sharpens sword. That's right. Hey, I hear you. That's how we stay young.
That's right. It keeps us youthful. It keeps us youthful. By the way, the name of that club that I was telling you about, the company, like the Do-Over, is called Soul in the Horn.
Oh, dope. Look at that.
Soul in the Horn. Yeah. And
I know one thing. When I went to New York for for clubs, y'all turned us out. Like that was just like, it was just, you know, it was just like what you said about the Do-Over, where everybody was sitting there saying the rhymes. When I would first step in clubs out there, I would walk in a New York club and I'd be like, oh my God, people would be like, and then such and such and such. All the dips, all the niggas, everybody be saying the lyrics to a song. And you'd be like, damn, look the way she look. But she know that whole lyric to Rakim or something. Like, but
like, you would have thought you were in the damn studio with the artist. Straight up going in.
Well, I want to say too, to Legend, bro, thank you so much for that connect at USC. That archive connect. That's heavy because to archive, that's another means of archiving our stories and archiving the things that we've done. And to where it won't get destroyed, because we don't know what's going to happen. And the more outlets we have where
we can save it,
these stories of what we're doing here and the things that I've recorded can be archived, is just so important. I want to thank you for that, brother. I really appreciate that. Seriously, bro.
Immortal word of the great Danny Domino. Enough love, enough love, enough.
I cannot hate it. Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
Being elders in this game, I want y'all to hear this so you know I'm doing exactly what Clarence Avon said do. You pass the game on to the next generation.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Clarence spoke that highly.
Like, I don't want to be just like, oh no, it's only Soul Brother footage in the archives. No, man, I want
it should be everybody.
Right. So again, this is good. Leaving that message, you know, facing your fears. This is always good for those up and coming dancers that want to come and listen to the legends, the icons, the OGs, everything. They hear stuff. The knowledge is everything. And it's important because trust me, we're all human, but we all face similarities when it comes to emotions and stuff. We may handle it differently, but trust me, we've all thought about doubt. We've all had fear. You know what I'm saying? It's just how we work those things to become successful and work through those fears in order to gain those accomplishments and goals.
And you know, and everything is in order. Like, you know what I mean? It's right. It's being done right.
Right.
Like by you doing the recording session and the way that that you were inspired to do it, it had to happen that way for you to even see that.
Word up.
You understand what I'm saying? For you to, you know, because I tell you on a daily, you know what I always tell you? I'll be like, release that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this right here is history. This is history when we do this stuff. When we do these things, even when we do the radio show and when Legend films his shows and he has all these archives that he's building up, as we keep building up and doing radio shows and different things is, you know what I'm saying, together as a group and as a part, this is what's going to make this industry expand for us as dancers, because we are a big part of this. You know what I'm saying? We do a lot and we contribute more than we think we are, but we're, you know, you guys are producers. I'm producers. You know, we host, we writers, we storytellers. Like, it's all a lot of great things.
Yeah. This has been really dope, JU.
Thank you. I'm honored. I'm telling you, y'all, I'm really honored. Thanks for having me.
Reverse, I want to get your son on the show we got coming on tonight, 7 o'clock. We got a catch, a dear friend of me and B-Love from the Funky Town Pro.
Ooh, I'm going to watch that one.
On his story.
Yeah, so have him watch so he can get ready for his, you know.
Yo, Dev is one of my favorite producers from, he did some of our music. Remember, Ledge?
Word.
He did some of the Soul Brothers' first music. Like he did some dope stuff. And yo, did you get in touch with Charlie B?
I called him, but he didn't pick up. So I think all three of us need to go ahead and blow his phone up.
Big shout to Charlie B.
Big shout out to Charlie B.
And Eric Vaughn, legend. She was talking about Eric Vaughn.
Yeah.
Eric Vaughn, like, did you know that Eric Vaughn wrote for me?
Yeah.
I didn't realize when you were talking about Eric Vaughn, I was like, why does his name sound so familiar?
That's family.
And then when I talked to Medina was like, how are you going to forget he wrote for us? And I'm like, Eric Vaughn, that's right. Oh,
so, yo, he wrote some of, like I said, he wrote some of Def Jef lyrics. He wrote Funky as Fuck.
That shit is crazy because I remember Charlie B talking about him back then. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
When you brought up Charlie B, that just hit me like, because, you know, we did some of our first recordings at Charlie B's. That was after Def Jef did some music for us. We had certain attempts we were doing. I did a funny song there, but anyway, we'll get back to that. Me and Craig did some crazy stuff there, but that was, you know what I'm saying? It's thank you for coming to the show, man.
Yes,
I think for Legend, do you got some 10 deadly?
7 deadly.
What you ain't got there for him?
I ain't got him this week.
I've been overwhelmed.
And I've been overwhelmed with shit this week.
Hey, I think we got a lot, and Jelani, definitely we'll be bringing you back.
He's a recurring guest. He's like, this ain't his last one.
Yeah, I want to bring some more. I want to bring some more of the SWAT team here. I want to, you know, I was with Zulu last night, so that was funny. You know, I had to drop Zulu off at what's his name? Fat Jack.
Oh, Fat Jack, yeah.
Fat Jack got beats. Legend, you got to get Fat Jack there too.
These names.
Fat Jack, he do got tracks.
Fat Jack got beats. Oh,
he's always had
SP, the Soul Prophet. Look, we are these days.
Oh yeah.
Architron.
Oh, it's many. We can go down a list.
Because our organism. V-Love. You got beats. Oh no, that's lit.
I'm throwing you in the hat too, bro.
I'm working on some stuff too, some top secret.
Yeah.
It's coming together. It's getting better. I had to get back in the loop of things. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
After what I was going through. But yo, thank you guys for coming to the show. You know, so y'all check out Why I Got Beats tonight.
Thank you.
We got my man Dad from the Funky Town Pros.
Getting ready to put it down.
What? Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Y'all be picked. Y'all stay blessed.
Yes,
stay safe out there.
Sunday.
Thank
I
you
love
guys.
y'all, man.
It was a pleasure seeing you. It was a pleasure seeing y'all.
Yes, and the audience, remember, you guys rock. Thanks for coming to rock with us. We love the support. You guys are awesome, dope. Stay fresh.
We're gonna start asking for donations soon.
Word up, so that we need to go ahead and get these get our merch together. I
Listen, we on the same page.
Legend on it, bro. Boom.
And Afro, you talked to me about that other thing too. We're gonna get people subscribing. We're gonna get people going.
That's right.
That's gonna help our radio show. I'm gonna do the same thing on there. Yeah, let's get it going. This is how we get it popping.
Come on.
Love everything. Thank you, Legend.
I'll be safe out there.
And most of all, thank you, JU.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
You gotta throw up a cup finger. There you go.
Yeah.
We outie.
All right, we out.
Don't forget to donate, y'all.